So I was scrolling through Facebook the other day, and yeah, I still use Facebook. I'm still learning Twitter and stuff. My Instagram got compromised, but I do have it for my filmmaking, Mayhem Productions, not the morning mayhem. I don't have an Instagram for that. I'm not that interesting, honestly. But I do have a Facebook, and I was scrolling through it the other day and ran across this one right here. This was a sponsored ad. I clicked on to just get it big and nice for you guys, but this was one of their sponsored ads from Dove. Now, apparently this was aired during the Super Bowl, I think I saw, or maybe they had something similar, but let's check it out. It says, now that we've got your attention, we want to tell you about our Body Confident Sport program. Well, that sounds great. It was this that caught my attention. Let's help keep girls in sports. I'm all about it. I'm all about keeping girls in sports. Why? Well, I'm a father. I have a daughter that plays sports. Check, check, check. I'm all about it. Even if I didn't have a daughter, I do believe, we need to protect our children, and definitely the girls. Girls and women right now in the world are significantly more vulnerable with stuff that's getting pushed out there. Don't send me your hate mail just quite yet, but we'll get into it a little bit. So let's look at some of the comments from this video, because I want to see if it's clear or not as far as what kind of statements being sent across the board here. So we got, I hope this is real. We need more corporations to stand for what is right. Yes, let's help keep only girls in girls sports. Totally agree. Men taking Woman of the Year awards and records is a total disgrace. It's nice to see a cooperation supporting what's right. I think they meant corporation. Absolutely. I've always used Dove soap. Start by keeping boys playing boys and girls playing girls. Well, America sure is making it difficult to fairly compete. Biologically born girls only in girls sports. I agree. Relax the uniforms, whatever. Nobody cares about your comment, Jessica. These comments give me hope for the world. I wonder if Dove realizes what their ad actually means. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it means what they think it means, because I'm on board with these guys. But if you open up their replies there, a lot of hate from people that love inclusivity and love of all colors and shapes and sizes. Seem to have a lot of hate in their heart. It's quite interesting to see that, but they're getting attacked for saying, yeah, girls should be in girls sports, women in women's sports, men in men's. What's wrong with that? Well, I wanted to look into it a little bit more, because again, I was intrigued by the overall message here. I was like, yeah, I agree with that. Let's take care of our girls, right? So I click on a link. It goes to Dove's site, Building Body Confidence in Sports. #keep her confident. Hey, look, at first glance, again, I'm all about it. Look, it all points to girls quitting sports due to low body confidence right here. 45% is what it says. And I hate that. I do, because I understand wholeheartedly. Look, I'm sympathetic that I have a daughter that plays soccer. Like I said, all kinds of sports, but officially, I guess, soccer is her thing. So she plays soccer. I myself have low body confidence, right? So I appreciate this message. Hats off to Dove. Thank you so much. But then I found this recent article that came out, I think because of this. This is from the Daily Signal. Has Dove changed its stance on transgenderism in sports? And it was great to see this, because I was like, didn't they do something or say something about biological men being in women's sports, transgenderism and stuff like that? But I couldn't really remember. So I saw this article pop out. I wanted to check it out. So again, this is Daily Signal. It says the controversy surrounding transgenderism in women's sports has been a hot topic in the media and politics, but the debate has also played out in corporate advertising as major brands like Target, Starbucks, and Bud Light race to embrace the LGBT community or agenda. I'm going to stop right there. I say often that I have my criticisms. I said, what was it, last week I was talking about the gay community, and I got plenty of friends in the gay community. I have no problem with the gay community. I know I'm a Christian, and some of you are going to say, well, Chris, you're not supposed to. Look, LGB. I'm okay with you guys. You're gay. You want to do your thing. Do your thing. Just, don't count me in on it. I'll love you from a distance as I do with all my friends. Okay. But, until you try to pull me in or try to teach false doctrination to my family or my child, or put my child in uncomfortable or unsafe situations, I'm fine with whatever you do. right? But then you start getting into the T's and the Q's and all the other letters of the alphabet are in there, right? I forget who else calls that. I know Chappelle has referred to it as the alphabet community, and some others have as well. But that's where you start to lose me. That's where you start to lose my support, because there's so much more that comes with that than just, hey, this is my personal, preference for attractiveness and sexuality and all this and that. Which again, you and your world, do your thing. I'm not going to judge you. I don't care. Go out and do your thing. So I will say right here, when they say LGBT agenda, I'm cool with everything up to the T. Once you get to the T and beyond, you start losing me. Okay, because it becomes so much more than just what the LGB stands for. So I just want to point that out real quick. I'm not a hateful person. I'm a realistic person. And there's a lot of LGB people that completely don't associate with the rest of the TQIA plus 2SA, whatever it is. They don't associate with a lot of the other letters that are in there. They're like, we're not the same thing. I digress. Moving on. Just wanted to make that point because I think it's fair for you to know where I stand. I think it's important for you to know and me to be transparent. Look, all the links to everything I ever go over, any kind of sources I use, are always going to be in the show notes below in the description. You can check it out. I'm very, very transparent. I am conservative. I'm a Christian. I'm right-leaning. I'm from the South. What can I say? I'm just the worst ever, right? But I'm going to be honest with that. And I'm going to do my best to share stories with you from a less biased place as possible, but I'm still going to have my bias. But it's important, I think, that you know what my bias is and me not to hide it and pretend I'm something that I'm not. And you get that a lot from mainstream media. That's why they are failing. Back to this story. All right. Dove, the soap and personal care brand, boarded the Rainbow Train in 2021. These guys were funny the way they wrote this. When it praised Laurel Hubbard, a male weightlifter who competed as a woman in the Olympics. Dove posted on X, then Twitter, history in the making. Congrats to Laurel. I'm thinking that's how they say the name. Here's to more trans representation in sports. Now, I could go on, and there is some more in here, but I'll go over to this article because that's what I remembered. There was something along those lines. So, celebrating the end of, what is RT? Is that Russia Today, I think? Oh, I'm going to be locked up. All right, celebrating the end of women's sports, women boycott Dove over virtue signaling support over trans athlete Laurel Hubbard. That's a dude. Okay, a New Zealand dude. Dove are facing boycott from women disgusted at the toiletries company's virtue signaling support for transgender weightlifter Laurel Hubbard at Tokyo 2020, which some interpreted as celebrating the end of women's sports. On Monday, Hubbard became the first openly transgender athlete to compete at an Olympic Games when the New Zealand super heavyweight, that's what I would be, took part in the women's 87 plus kilogram snatch at Tokyo 2020. So I want to go down here, I think. Yeah. So here's some tweets. Hodge Twins, by the way. Love those guys. Met them twice, actually, and their opening act, which is comedian Chris Clarke. He's quickly becoming one of my favorites. Go check those guys out and look up comedian Chris Clarke. See snacks. Back to this. Sorry. Sidetracked. Here's a tweet, and again, I don't really understand Twitter, so I'm still getting used to it. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg here. Was it the LGBTQ nation, then GLAAD, then Dove shared it? I don't know, so I'm just going to read it. Olympics reject calls to remove Laurel Hubbard from competing in weightlifting, lesbian, yada. Policies including transgender athletes have been in place in the Olympics and Paralympics since 2004. Laurel Hubbard is the first to qualify among 54,000 Olympians and Paralympians over the last 17 years. Trans people belong in sports. Dove says history in the making. Congrats to Laurel. Here's to more trans representation in sports. We go down here, then to that comment there or tweet or post. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Then there will be no more Dove for me, which is a shame because I've always associated their products with positive messages for women. Another one, we'll be boycotting Dove. The lack of respect toward female athletes, the lack of care about female feelings on this matter, it's simply too much. This isn't fair to the female athletes, and most people know it. This is clear sexism, and you support that. You know women buy your products, right, Dove? You'll take our money, but you won't allow us our sex-based rights. Your virtue signaling just lost you a customer. Women's sports is for women, not mediocre male cheats. P.S. I'm not against trans representation in sports, just in the category, or the correct category. Our sports, I'm from the South, remember, our sports are sex-based, not gender. And this is the last one, I'll move on. Dove celebrating the end of women's sports, only male and mixed sex categories in weightlifting. Females have no category now. And Dove is like, yay, congrats, bold statement. Don't you just make soap stuffs? We'll be choosing another more female-friendly brand for now on. So here's where I'm really confused, right? And at the same time, I'm not. I know what they're doing, right? So again, as a father of a girl who plays sports, this really caught my attention. Not just issues with the boys in the girls' locker rooms or bathrooms, or knocking them down on the field, having significantly more strength and testosterone levels, but also the opportunities it takes away from young girls and women. The trans athletes in the sports is really causing a big stir. So I know they're trying to virtue signal to their different audiences, to the pro-trans in sports, and then the anti-trans in sports and girls and stuff. Look, what's going to not body shame them? What was it? Body self-image, body confidence, low body confidence. Well, yeah, when you put them next to a super heavyweight man, a biological man, they're going to have low body confidence. You're talking out of both sides of your ass on this one, Dove. But like I said, there's more to it than just that. The whole opportunities that are being taken away from women because men are in sports. Dove, you got me on a tangent here. But in the name of fairness and equality, they have to make sure, it's pushed out there. Because there's, certain groups that are just hated upon, and they are not included. So we got to put them in stuff that they don't really fit in. It's like a square peg in a round hole. Look, I saw this clip on Officer Tatum's show, and I had to go look it up because I don't have TikTok. But I had to go look it up, and Mama Bear here, as Officer Tatum put it, makes a really good point. Let's check out this video. It is about almost 2 minutes long, so bear with me. We'll run through this real quick and we'll close out of the segment.
I'm going to get a little personal with y'all tonight. Honestly, we moved to escape a domestic situation. And when I found this school district, I was amazed at the ratings. And I thought, well, my God, my daughter's going to finally have an opportunity to have a normal life. And then we run into this situation with the book bans and the bathrooms. And while my daughter is thriving currently, she's got a lot of issues that she's worried about. And this shouldn't be one of them. And honestly, if it comes down to it, if this passes, we're gone. Like, I'm not going to keep her in another dysfunctional situation. And it's really sad that nobody's considering the other children that are part of this decision. We're looking at the minority, and we're forcing the majority to set aside everything for this minority. I mean, we have these private use bathrooms. I don't understand why this is such an issue that we should be raising. And nobody's even considering the fact that these other girls might possibly have concerns with having boys in the girls' bathroom. And we're not even going to touch upon the fact that this is a DSM-5 mental illness. I'm not going to be politically correct about this, because that is exactly what this is. And what this is that should be a consideration that we take in, and we've given them the private bathrooms, but it doesn't mean that we're going to take one protected class and we're going to throw them to the wind for these minority protected class. Like, women, we've fought, and I've said this in the last policy meeting, we fought for decades to just earn a seat at the table. And now we're back here fighting for our own private spaces. We're fighting. My daughter has now finally found a sport that she loves, and she's really great at it, and I love to see her thrive. And now I've got to worry about her having to compete for her spot for a college admission over a boy. So I know we're talking about bathrooms, but this is way more than bathrooms. This is everything. This is everything that women have fought for decades. And I'm really upset over the fact that there's women here that are so willing to give away their seat at the table for a boy. I don't even know what else to say. That's it.
So that was a mom talking about a situation is coming up a lot with a lot of schools. And, if you speak out against it, you're a terrorist. I want to say a domestic terrorist is what they were calling some of the parents. So good for her. That was in, let's see, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. So that was up in Pennsylvania where that one was taking place. But we've seen that same story or similar stories, across the board in several states and several counties. It's all over the place. And her points are all valid, isn't it? Yes, there's a problem with girls going to the bathroom and there being a dude in there, or going to the locker room, changing room, whatever, and guys are in there, and the girls should be able to be naked and change and do their thing and feel safe and secure about everything without having to worry about a dude in there with his, meaty, junk, hanging down. By the way, the show's not always age appropriate. A lot of times it's not. Some words will slip. Some descriptions will be a little over the top. So I don't recommend this for children, FYI. But I like the way that Steven Crowder says it. We can't pull punches and we have to push and really show the disgust and the level that they'll go to so that we really understand it, because otherwise it's just, oh, they're in the bathroom with them. No, Loudoun County, I can't remember where it was, and don't sue me, I could have the county wrong. But it was some school district where a little boy said he was a girl, went to the girl's bathroom. He sexually assaulted a girl in there. The school knew about it, had the boy, moved to another school, and he did it again. And then they tried to cover it up. And then the parent, I think, went after the school board or after somebody, I don't remember. And there was a big to-do about that. And he was still the victim because he was a transgender. Like, look, I understand that it is a mental illness. We can argue that all day long. That's where I'm going to stand. Look, I know it's not the 1940s or 50s or whatever, and we think that, gay is a mental illness or left-handedness is of the devil or anything like that. But, I mean, for these people that think that they're a gender that they're not, for them to think that they're cats, or they think, and I know you're like, oh, don't throw that in and lump it in. It's all part of the same equation. If you think you're something that you're not, there's something wrong somewhere. Okay, chemically, mentally, whatever. It is a mental illness. I'm sorry, and I hate to be, a jerk about it, because I don't ever like being a jerk. But I want to be realistic and I want to be for real. Back to this real quick, and we'll wrap up, because it is not, like she said, just about the bathrooms and the locker rooms and all that stuff. It is about the opportunities. I mean, my little girl's, growing up, and we've got a savings account for her that we're going to put toward college if she needs it. If she gets into college for free, then that'll just roll over and she can use it for, a house, or she can start her own business, or she could roll that over and just keep saving it or whatever, So she has incentives to keep that going. And one of them is to get into college for free, whether it's through her scholarships, from vocational, which she's in gifted classes, or whether it's from athletics, which she is, highly sought after on the soccer field for levels that are above her age. They have called and requested that she come in and stuff. So she's got a lot of opportunities, but if these boys come in and overpower her and all of her, peers, they're going to take their opportunities away, and that's not fair. And that's going to cheat her out of a lot of possibilities and opportunities in the future. So that's the big one that she was making a complaint about. I'll complain about all of it, honestly, but that is a big one. That's a big one that continuously gets overlooked. Back to the video, it's more than Dove and these other companies sending mixed signals to pander to different customer bases. It's brainwashing within the political sphere, mainstream media, and society at large, that has so many people thinking that this is a good thing. I'm proud of all the moms standing up for their daughter's safety and obstacles and great opportunities because of these things. But like Officer Tatum said when he showed this, where are the dads? Where are the Papa Bears? And I understand with her situation, she said they were getting away from a domestic situation. So that's probably where the dad is. Probably not the most upstanding guy. I don't know that for sure. I'm just assuming, right? But look, I'm going to tell you straight up, comes to my county, this Papa Bear is going to be there 100%. And I hope if you are a father, okay, that you're standing up for your kids and you're standing up for other kids, because it's not just your kid anymore. We have to look out for each other because there's an entire ecosystem or whatever you want to call it that's out there in a society that is pushing against the very foundation of family and biology, genetics, sanity. It's being challenged on a daily basis, and it's being pushed out there to our kids. So please make sure you're standing up for yours and others. Guys, I want to talk to you real quick about Gruntworks Meat Company. Man, I know that just sounds awesome, right? Well, it's Gruntworks because they have relationships with the military. 10 cents from every pound that they sell of meat goes to a veteran charity that they work with. Very, very excited to be partnered with them. They have top quality meat at grocery store prices. It's interesting when you go on the site, you get to see everything they have, and a lot of it sometimes will get sold out here and there. And that's a good sign to me. That's a good sign. That means they don't just have all this meat laying around somewhere. They are acquiring it over time. It's fresh, it's flash frozen and sent to you frozen and everything like that. So if they are out of stock of something, hey, come back later and get it. It's a great thing. That way you know you're getting a good quality fresh product. They have everything from grass-fed Wagyu to Angus. They got regular cuts. They even have organs for those of you that may be on carnivore or do enjoy the organs. Hats off to you. Not my thing, but hey, you know, it's wonderful. So if you are on the carnivore keto diet, a lot of options that they have there. All the meat is pasture raised, never any antibiotics, hormones, or any GMOs or pesticides of any kind. Okay, it's right here made in America. And like I said, they help out veterans and they have my total support for that. You can even buy a whole cow, half cow, quarter cow, whatever it is, all kinds of bundles. Go check them out today. Gruntworks MC for Meat Company, gruntworksmc.com. A direct link will be in the description below. But when you go there, use discount code Mayhem10. You're going to get 10% off your entire purchase, and go check them out today.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.